Hello, anybody. I am Alpacapatrol, and this is Dota 2. That is right. I'm back with another episode of Dota 2, and I just realized something. I need to put the music on. There we go. Now I got the Captain's Mode music. We're going to be playing, or not playing, we're going to be watching Cucaracha Remix versus Hollis, or Hollis, and I'm joined by a co-commentator, Cameron Pontia.
It's definitely Hollis. And
Hollis?
before you ask, Rob, I know you were going to ask.
I was about to ask.
Before you ask, I think Hollis definitely has the edge on Cucaracha. Because of their icon here. The Woody icon, deftly cropped out of the background and made to stand out, minus elbow on the right elbow. Our perspective, it's left. So, you know,
Stage
it's
left.
just excellent work.
Right, yeah, I have to agree, it's well done. It's definitely a well done logo. Top notch, I'd say. And when you have Woody backing you up, I mean, can it really go wrong? I don't think so.
Probably not.
So we're actually a little far into the Captain's Mode banning and picking phase because of various technical issues, but it's not a big deal. We only missed the very beginning. They banned out Timbersaw, Slark, Bristleback Visage, Alchemist now. OD, pretty much the most overpowered heroes, or at least what's regarded as the most powerful heroes in this version, I'd say. So, yeah, it's a pretty reasonable draft so far. I do see the Naga cam. And
Naga Marana,
yeah.
epic combos with
It
the
is
Z.
a good combo, but here's the question, Cam. Do you think this is going to be a Naga mid carry?
Well, let's just hope not.
I really hate seeing Naga mid carry. I really dislike it.
Totally pro ZZ when RTZ rolls it.
Yeah, I am also pro ZZ when RTZ rolls it.
Yeah.
That's a very astute point that I hadn't considered. Yeah, with the Marana, Naga is a good thing with the
wibbly well and the zibbity sow.
Applebee, Bill Cosby doing the Wizard Wazzle doing.
Say Applebee?
What?
Say Applebee?
Applebee's.
Applebee's a Bill Cosby.
You ever go to Applebee's, Cam?
Yeah, I love Applebee's.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's not the same place I'm thinking. Olive Garden. I love Olive Garden.
Ah, I've never been to Olive Garden, actually.
Well, that's where we differ, Rob. I've been to.
That is the only thing changing between the two of us.
Finally.
I've been to Olive Garden.
Finally, we found something.
Yeah, I've never been to Olive Garden. I hear it's not bad. I also wanted to go to Outback Steakhouse, but I have heard on good authority from Australians that Outback Steakhouse is not real Australian cuisine.
10 seconds remaining.
Which is, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you mean they don't eat bloomin' onions all the time over there?
Right, apparently, bloomin' onions, I've asked multiple Australians this, like, hey, do you guys eat bloomin' onions all the time? And they're like, what the fuck is a bloomin' onion? This Outback Steakhouse just made that shit up.
Well, they're geniuses, because that shit is delicious.
It really is very delicious. It's just like flour and onion, like chopped up onion, right? Like, what else?
It's like, well, no, like, the onion is not just chopped up, it's presented to you like a theater show.
It's like a funnel cake, but onion, right? That's what bloomin' onions.
Have you ever had bloomin' onion?
I have in the past, but that's what I remember. Is like it looks kind of like a funnel cake in like a cup of.
I don't know, honestly, what a funnel cake looks like. Let's look this up.
You never had a funnel cake? Dude, funnel cake is delicious.
We're looking it up.
Look it up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No. Looks nothing like that.
It looks somewhat similar. Okay, so by the way, Hollis or Hollis has picked up Invoker, which, you know, a lot of people have been saying that Invoker is a little bit overpowered again, which is kind of funny because he was out of the meta entirely for what, like a year? And
8 jillion
now,
years, more like.
Yeah, basically about 8 jillion years. But he's a really fun hero to watch, so I don't mind him being back in the meta at all. He's really interesting and exciting. Darkseer's a weird pickup, though, especially here, because it seems like they would have their off lane, but I guess they're thinking of the Marana and in a support role?
What? Shake that ass. Maybe she's in a tri-lane with the Naga. Naga net into an arrow is rape-tastical.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, as Mirana has like a support, maybe a support roamer kinda.
Well, she could farm.
10 seconds
Yeah, she could. Yeah, that's not
Naga
unheard
support.
of either. Yeah, that's certainly not unheard of. But what's nice, Cam, is I don't think we're going to be seeing the Naga mid because they have the Invoker, and he's probably going mid.
Radiant team.
Unless that new meta support Invoker.
That would be. This would be bad meta. Really?
No, new meta.
I don't know if you got a new. Darkseer has fallen out of favor a lot in this version, and I think for good reason. He's a great late game offlaner support. I don't know, 3-roll, but usually games don't get to the late game, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's good for the type of offlane that like farms a few items for the early game and then late game uses his abilities to win, but it doesn't really get to that point. These days, you kind of want an offlaner that will also get you a few kills or like set up a couple kills or something like that. Clockwork, Mirana, that would be pretty tasty. Get a few arrows in there, get a few hooks. But Darkseer isn't like the biggest, kill receiver in the offlane.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't receive a lot of kills.
Yeah,
you're right.
Santa's not favoring him this year.
You've coined a new Dota term, Cam, because I coined a new Dota term in my last cast with Austin, which is the pick and roll strat.
Oh.
You want to know what the pick and roll strat is? I can tell you right now. Both.
Is it when you're on fire?
It's
Yes,
pick and roll, pick and roll.
Drop and roll. No, the pick and roll strat is basically what these two teams are running because of the clockwork. You don't see much push out of either of these teams. Invoker is a good pusher. Naga's a great pusher if she has Radiance, but I think in this scenario she's not going to be relegated. She's going to be relegated to the support role. And so there's not great push on either side, and Juggernaut's a decent pusher.
Hey. You talk as if the support role is a bad position.
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, you don't get relegated to the support role. You get promoted to the support role, all right?
Spoken like a true support player. But, yeah, I mean, so there's not a lot of push, but essentially the idea is, with both Clockwork and Mirana, is you take one hero out of the fight. Nope, just kidding about the no push. They just got Pugna. Never mind. Surprise Pugna. And I like it.
Pugna.
I really like it. Pugna is probably going to go mid, and I think that's going to be pretty beneficial to their team.
Yeah, I think Pugna owns Zizzles against teams that don't have very much push because it's just such a slow siege balls fest that it sucks for anyone that doesn't have enough push. Because if you make it go into the late game, Pugna's just going to burst down all your towers slowly but quite quickly at the same time.
Right, yeah. It's the slow siege. You're referring to basically the slow siege, which is, I guess, a misnomer in a way because it's actually pretty quick.
Yeah, well, it's weird because Pugna runs up to your tower, takes like an eighth of its HP with one of his spells, which is a lot. It sounds like an eighth is a very low number, fraction, but it's a lot. And if he does that a few times, then you can just lose a tower to that, and you can't really do a lot of that except with the Naga. I mean, not a lot of these heroes are big push heroes aside from the Naga. Evoker has those spirits that he can use.
I think, hey Cam, in the Radiant base, I'm pretty sure that's a sexy picture of Emma Watson.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see some Emma Watson up in it. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I don't know why it's only on the left side of the square.
It's a little bit strange, yeah. I don't know what they were doing with the right side. Maybe they were going to get a different picture of Emma Watson or something there on the right side. Anyway, let me introduce the teams. Love G is going to be playing our support Naga, who did just pick up a courier, so she's definitely a support, and he gets Ion Shelled for no reason. Viper is going to be playing the Mirana, oddly enough. Bonnie Wright, in all caps, is going to be playing the Earthshaker. Invoker is going to be played by Manucci. And Darkseer in the offlane will be played by Jado. Or really, ZH4D0W.
We could just call him Shadow for simplicity's sake. On the Dire team, under smoke, we have iKiwi leading the pack here as Crystal Maiden, slowest hero. Elfin on the Rubik in second. Chromaz, a close third. Thunder, they're racing, by the way. Thunder in fourth here, and pulling up the rear, we have
30
Muzzy on
seconds to
Pugna.
battle.
I didn't say Thunder is on the clockwork. He got revealed somehow. I don't know if he walked too close or what,
I
but
think it might have been this Earthshaker that's coming in. Actually, this Earthshaker might be able to get something going. Oh, no, maybe he's out of position, actually.
well, they're missing two. The Radiant are missing 2 of their teammates right now. So I don't think they want to engage into this.
Yeah, this is, I think a failed smoke by the Dire team, but really, it's not the worst thing in the world. You don't like to see it happen, obviously, but, you know.
Well, they could have at least dropped some wards.
And it looks like they did. They actually did Magic Bush so that they killed these 2 camps here with that Sentry Ward. From the
Yes. Yes. True. True.
You said something that is true.
Yeah, I
Very
was going to
good.
say that it was a bit of a ways still not to ward their jungle for the clockwork, because now he can get super easily ganked. And like, what are they really going to use these wards for, other than to ward the lane so that they can, you know, unsuccessfully gank the Darkseer?
Yeah, you know, actually, it's an interesting choice that they've not gone for the aggressive tri-lane. When you have an Earthshaker, a Naga, and a Mirana, you would think, you know, aggressive. And it would probably do pretty well against the Crystal Maiden that's probably going to want to jungle. So it's an interesting choice. I don't necessarily see why they wouldn't. Uh-oh. Fissure on the Clockwork here, and he actually is blocked in, but and here's a net, but I don't know if they have the damage. Yeah, here's a Cogs, and I think Clockwork should get out of here just fine. Especially since the Earthshaker does not have enough mana for a Fissure.
Yeah, everybody getting all hit up on those cogs, and that's exactly what you can't be doing in in a lane against the off lane Clockwork, because that's what he's counting on. You
Yeah,
can't let him
basically.
win like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, you know, I'm sure the Naga and the Earthshaker are probably going to rotate and try to gank in mid. It'll probably be a pretty good, easy gank on the Pugna, I'd say. But right now, they're not really doing much unless they're trying to push down this Clockwork. And like we said, they don't have much push, so it would be kind of difficult to do so.
True. The Darkseer is playing it pretty close to the cuff. Don't know if that's a saying.
I think you just made that up.
Honestly,
actually.
I think even if I had gotten that right, it would have meant the opposite of what I wanted it to mean.
I think the saying that you were going, you kind of had 2 sayings there. You had the off the cuff and close to the chest.
Yes.
Off the cuff wouldn't mean anything like what you're saying, and close to the chest would mean the opposite of what you meant to say.
Exactly. So
So,
there we go. Mystery revealed, folks. Cam is an idiot.
We're gonna see the Darkseer actually hasn't bought boots. You don't really need boots necessarily as a Darkseer, and actually the Invoker's getting harassed in this middle lane. And surprisingly, he has opted to go for, I think, a quick Midas.
Uh-oh, this could be interesting. Crystal Maiden and Darkseer are wearing the same thing to the ball, but Darkseer is changing and will just barely make it out of the way.
Without embarrassing himself in front of his sweetheart.
Oh, here we go. IQ making plays. You can do it. So anticlimactic.
Oh, you frostbit the shit out of that Darkseer. Do those right clicks. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with the Darkseer. Oh, actually, Darkseer has gone for a bottle. I was going to say, I wonder if he's saving up for his Soul Ring, and it looks like he's actually going to go for a bottle instead of the Soul Ring. So, opting to try to keep rune control, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder why. I guess the Invoker is just rushing the Midas, and he's like, hey, get a bottle so you can take that top rune whenever it spawns. They do have a ward on it.
Yeah, I know. It's actually a really greedy play to try to rush this Midas as this Invoker because, you know, especially when he's not even being pooled any regen at all, or maybe he was actually because he does have 3 tangos left. Ooh, there's another blast. It does a bunch of damage. Sunstrike coming in, but it's gonna miss. Even if it did hit, though, he's only got level. Oh, he's actually got level 3 in Exort, so it could have done a fair amount of damage. I don't know if it would have killed the Darkseer, but
Darkseer.
I'm sorry, Pugna. Why don't you shut your mouth, Cam? How about that?
Classic,
And,
Rob.
This Pugna is winning this lane handily, I'd say.
So far, once the Invoker gets that Midas and he gets a few levels in him, he might just start taking it away. Especially if the Pugna leaves the lane. Because that's what Invokers tend to do, and it's a little bit of a piss off. It's like they just sit in the middle lane and don't
up in the
gank.
top lane, Darkseer's taking a bunch of damage, and it looks like this might be the first blood. And the Crystal Maiden's doing some damage, but is it enough? I don't think so. He does pop a Salve and a Tango, and that regen, I think, is going to keep him alive, except for the Crystal Nova from the high ground. Is it going to be enough damage from here? No, it doesn't look like it. Unless the Juggernaut decides to run in. No, he's just going to CS. So, really close first blood attempt. And I think this Darkseer's going to have to walk back to base. Or, no, he's actually going to Tango up and stay in lane. Oh, and the Clockwork actually in the bottom lane, however, getting pretty close. The Murata leaps in, trying to get some more damage on there, but the Clockwork's running away with a Salve and his Battery Assault going. I don't think they can kill this Clockwork, and there's a TP in from the Rubik, and this might be a first blood going the other way on this Murata, but she pops a Salve. Oh my god, this is Salve Wars, the game. Oh, but the Nether Blast from the Pugna comes in from the middle lane, and a double kill for that Pugna. That is not something you like to see at all if you're the Radiant team.
Yeah, that always sucks when somebody makes a good rotation and your Invoker is just sitting in the middle lane.
Well, unfortunately, there really probably wasn't anything that this Invoker could have done. It was an easy kill. Basically too hard of a dive from this Radiant side tri-lane. And at this point, you've basically lost the tri-lane. You should probably rotate your Naga and your Earthshaker off to get kills, and Earthshaker's actually already rotating. They might actually try to go for this Pugna, and he's actually in a weird position, but I think he should be fine. There's a stun, but he's not blocked in, so he should be able to... Oh, but the Cold Snap is going. Nether Ward is down. Here comes another Blast, and they're doing a bunch of damage. The Sunstrike is gonna hit and take the Pugna out. And we'll see if any more aggression comes to this. I think they should probably back off. I'm assuming they're all going to just back out here. But the Earthshaker's in a weird position, too. He has popped his Clarity, and he's almost got enough mana to pop his Fissure. But I think he's just going to back out and go home. So a decent return kill from the Dire team. But the Pugna having 2 kills, including the first blood. Not Goodman. Not Goodman. Oh god, and the call looks like it's dead, but that's okay. We'll fix the call very soon, friends. Let me close the call. I'm sorry about this. We've been having a bit of an internet issue in some way, but I'll just solo cast for a bit while Cam comes back. And this Pugna's pretty far ahead. He does still have 2 pooled Tangos ready to go. Looks like Rubik is going to try to get a kill here. He's setting up. He's looking for the potential chance to get a kill on this Invoker, but the Earthshaker's also staying in there, trying to do the same. And the Invoker does have his Midas, and he's got basically boots now too, so his lane's going okay. He's definitely going to be able to kick in more. I mean, part of the thing about the Invoker, and excuse me for just one moment. Let me just call Cam here. Sorry about that sound. I don't know how to turn that sound off. And here comes a Fissure out in the middle lane. Cold Snap up on the Pugna, and the Pugna's actually taking a bunch of damage, but I don't think she should die. Or he should die, rather. Cam, are you in here now?
Hello.
Hey!
Sorry about that.
Yep, that's alright. I'm not sure. Did you restart Skype, by the way?
No, I did the one time.
Oh, okay. You did back then. Back in the olden days.
Back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Back in the golden days, the classics.
Right, exactly. So the Pugna has opted to go for the Power Treads, which is, you know, you could say standard. There's a lot of things you could build on Pugna. A lot of players like to build Phase Boots on Pugna, actually.
Why?
I
must ask.
Well, the reasoning is you can do those slow sieges. You know, you could run up to the tower, run away in quick fashion. And really just kind of get in
quick
position
fashion.
for the Nether Blast. Yeah.
Is that by Ralph
In a
Lauren?
hurry. Sorry, I had to do an icyism.
Is that by Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, and actually Pugna, he does have another ward down, but he does get Cold Snap as well, and I think he's going to die here, yeah. Pugna does go down, a little bit bad. Oh, but Clockwork, he does have his hookshot ready to go. He's popped his Battery Assault, and I don't think he's going to use the hookshot. They're just going to back off. Oh, but the arrow lands on the Crystal Maiden, and Clockwork comes back in only to die and feed himself. along with that Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, I don't know what the Clockwork was doing, but he canceled hookshot like 8 bajillion times before he initiated, and then just walked in, took a buttload of damage from the tower, and ended up dying.
Yep, it's a strange idea. By the way, the Naga is now farming in the
Dire's
bottom
middle
lane.
tower is under attack.
So that's kind of interesting. Oh, this Pugna TP'd in and died.
You have learned
Again.
Die zizzled.
So whatever advantage this Pugna had is gone. He does have his buckler now, which is nice, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
oh, and it looks like Darkseer is maybe in a weird position. Maybe the Juggernaut. Oh God, the internet's dying again. Oh, great and bountiful dear God. I'm sorry about this,
Tower
folks.
is under attack.
I don't know. We're just having some issues today for whatever reason. I'm just gonna stay on the Naga Siren real quick while I try to have this resolved. Excuse me for just a moment. There we go. Let's just end the process. Fantastic. Oh, it looks like in the middle lane there's some aggression gonna come out, and they're gonna be able to push down this tower, I think, pretty quickly. Especially with the Forge Spirits, so that's going to be pretty useful. Oh, Pugna's Nether Ward doing a bunch of damage. Here comes the Nether Blast. The Invoker is lifted up, but there's no follow-up. And I think they're going to be able to take this tower pretty easily. Oh, but a song out from the Naga Siren. Oh god, I wanted to go to Skype, but I can't do it. The Invoker's taking so much damage from that Nether Blast, but Naga comes in with her Riptide doing so much damage. The Invoker, or sorry, the Earthshaker gets taken out by the Rubik's Fade Bolt. And Naga's on the run back to her own base, and I think she should be fine. Oh, here comes an arrow, but it's going to miss. It's not going to hit anything. And actually, the Mirana's in a weird place. It looks like the Clockwork's going to try to go for her. No, he's not. It would be a bad play to go for her if you wanted to. Ooh, Mirana's in a strange place as well. We'll see if anything comes of this. Uh-oh. Alright, looks like Clockwork's going to have to pop his cogs. Here comes an arrow, and the arrow's not going to hit. Sorry about the sound of the Skype. And Mirana's in a weird place. The Fissure actually is going to block out the Crystal Maiden and the Rubik. And, yeah, I don't think any more aggression is going to come here in mid lane. A lot of the whole team is just kind of floating around mid for some reason. It's really a big loss on the thing. Sorry, I'm trying to get this Skype thing working. I'm sorry. Oh, another lift on this Mirana, but she does have Moonlight Shadow. I don't think they can see her. Oh, she does pop her arrow, and it hits on the Crystal Maiden, but the Mirana is still alive, and Crystal Maiden's not going to take any damage. In fact, the Invoker and the Earthshaker take some damage from the Nether Ward, trying to pop some spells. Does so much damage. Is this a max Nether Ward? Yes, it is. The Pugna has not opted to go any points into Decrepify, so he is maxing his Nether Ward. It is a very good choice, I think, against the Invoker, who is so spell dependent, obviously. So, really good choice by him. The Nether Ward is doing a ton of damage. And because this Radiant team is so reliant on using their spells early to get kills, I think it's really fantastic. The Pugna's in a strange place, though. He manages to kill out an illusion. The Fissure comes out, and here comes another ward. There goes the hookshot, though, on this Earthshaker. The Earthshaker's trying to pop the enchant totem, but he's not going to be able to do it. Arrow is going to fly, but miss. And actually, this Darkseer is taking a bunch of damage. The arrow is going to go right through this magic immune Juggernaut, and the Omni Slash is going to come in, do a bunch of damage to the Mirana, but not kill her. And here comes some more damage, and oh, a double kill for this Pugna, or at least 2 kills for this lane. And this is a back and forth game. It's basically a tug of war, pretty much. I can't imagine that the gold graph is moving up and down. It's a roller coaster of fun and excitement. Excuse me for just one moment while I put the directed camera on so that I can see if I get the Skype going. Juggernaut, in the meantime, just going to be farming in this bottom lane because he can do that, just sit around farming. He does have his drums, he's got his poor man shield, he's got his phase boots as well. It looks like there might be a push here. Yeah, there's definitely a push. And this Dire team is going to look to defend it, most likely. I don't know if they're really going to be able to do anything about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think they are going to be able to. But an arrow comes out from Rubik. Deafening Blast does a bunch of damage, but the Invoker is probably going to go down from this Crystal Maiden. Freezing Field is going to kill the Darkseer and the Invoker. Naga Sleep is going to come in to try to save this Mirana. She does have Moonlight Shadow up, which is going to last for a little while longer. The hook shot is actually going to miss. It was a blind hook. They didn't know where she was, but they were hoping for goodness, and goodness did not come. And I think we have a call going. Cam?
Hello.
Hello, we're back in. All right. This is a clusterfuck. I restarted my Skype, by the way.
I restarted my modem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I swore a lot while restarting it.
Wow, all right. So, are you back in the game, or?
I am.
Okay, cool. Very good. So, in the bottom lane, it looks like his Juggernaut is actually going to Blade Fury and TP out, which he can do. He is magic immune, and because the Naga
He can do. He has that option. He has that right as a Dota player.
You know what? Why don't you suck my balls? How about that, Cam? Ensnare was used to open. What's funny is if she didn't open up with Ensnare, if he even tried to Blade Fury TP out, he would not have been able to do so because of the net going through magic.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Didn't. Yes, I did know.
You did know that. That's good. It looks like Rubik is actually taking a bunch of damage here. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to get a kill. Oh, yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, Rubik is going to go down. And now it is 12-8 in favor of this Dire team. Oh, but Clockwork hook shots in, and he pops his Battery Assault and Flare, but I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. Yeah, in fact, the Clockwork's going to go down, I think. There he goes, dies from the Ion Shell. But the Omni Slash is going to take out the Darkseer above. The Naga is going to go down as well, so a 2-for-1 trade.
Did he take down the Darkseer above, or was the Naga above?
You know what? Why don't you just suckle on my balls? How about that? How about you just suckle right on them? Oh god, this Earthshaker's dead
6 in a
too.
row. 2 down.
And this is rapidly going into the Dire's favor.
Yes, indeed. When a Pugna snowballs, that's scary.
Yeah, it
Because-
definitely is.
If you can't kill the Pugna, who can you kill?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the Rubik?
I mean,
but-
the Pugna right now is looking fairly tanky. He already has the mechanism up. He already has Rubik just stole Arrow as well. Which is
Yeah,
great.
the most baller spell you could possibly steal.
Oh,
Arrow!
the combos of the Sentry lift into Arrow. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about this. Clockwork has a hook shot right now, and he's going to pop it. Is it going to be enough? I don't know if the Battery Assault
trapped
is gonna
him!
Go. He actually did manage to take out that Mirana. Good
Baller. That was
Oh.
super baller.
Clockwork is not actually stuck in. But Rubik having Arrow is very dangerous. As you can see, that combo of lifting into Arrow is fantastic.
I don't know if the Dire are aware that they successfully sentried that bottom ward. To the bottom rune.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think. Well, they have to get high ground vision. I don't think they have any spells that can do that. Naga's gonna come in and sleep actually, and she sleeps all 3. But I don't know if we're gonna be able to do anything about this. We'll see. Looks like the Pugna's in a bad position. He does have a mechanism ready to go, and he does pop the mechanism as well. He does another blast, and he is actually going to get taken down. In the meantime, Rubik actually also died to somebody, and Clockwork's getting chased out here.
Uh-oh, and if someone's gonna stop him, it'll be that. Never mind. It might be an unsuccessful dive.
Oh, and this is a huge dive into Omni Slash, into Clockwork Cogs, and they are taking a bunch of damage from this Crystal Maiden ulti, but is it going to be enough? It is not going to be enough to kill the
One
monster.
hit!
And the arrow actually hits on the Crystal Maiden, but the Crystal Maiden returns with a Frostbite. Here comes a Sunstrike that will take out the Crystal Maiden, and the Darkseer will die as well. So I don't even know what kind of trade that was, Cam. Like, I wasn't even counting.
That was an all-around good trade for both teams because, I mean, what can you ask for other than getting some kills out of a huge dive? And also, what can you ask for other than getting some kills out of a terrible dive?
That's true.
So,
yeah, that's
both teams came out on top, in my opinion.
Yeah, this a strange, very fighty game, which is good because it's not push-oriented despite having this Pugna here. But as I say that, they're going to be pushing down this bottom lane. It looks like there's the Mirana going to TP in to try to defend, but by herself, I don't think she's going to be able to stop a Pugna, a Clockwork, and a Rubik. But here comes the Naga as well, who does not have Song, up for another 75 seconds. And I think with this Earthshaker TPing in as well, under Moonlight Shadow, they're going to try to get a kill here, but I don't think they're going to be able to do so. And that's actually a lot of TPs used. That's 4 TPs. And, you know, that doesn't seem like much, but that adds up to a lot of money.
Oh, snap zizzle!
Oh, that is a dead Rubik, or is it? The Clockwork comes in and gets the return kill as a kill happens. Clockwork does have his battery assault going, and he is going on this Naga as well, but she Riptides 3, and it's not going to be enough to do anything, but she actually manages to illusion out of it. The Pugna's taking a bunch of damage, and the Nether Ward actually is in the jungle. Oh, and it looks like the Murata might take enough damage to go down, or will she? Here comes the Nether Ward doing a bunch of damage, and this Juggernaut's out of mana. Oh, but he gets hit by the arrow from the Murata, and she gets hit by a Crystal Nova. This is ridiculous, Cam. This is very hard to cast. It's a lot of spells.
Very back and forth.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like these teams are evenly matched as far as skill, but the Clockwork reinitiations and initiations and all these disables and all this magic damage coming out of the Dire is just serving them well.
Yeah, the Pugna does have enough mana for a mechanism, but not enough for anything else. And it looks like he now doesn't, but he does actually manage to get a kill on the Invoker with, I think, just the Nether Ward.
I think Hollis could have used a little more magic damage and a little less disable.
Yeah, I don't think their disable is a huge problem, or disable is a huge benefit for them against this particular team.
Yeah, because they're just getting blasted down every time they initiate. Like the Pugna, pretty much whoever you go up against has a buttload of damage that they can hit you with.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can disable them, but it doesn't really stop much of the damage aside from like an ulti by Crystal Maiden.
Definitely. I actually just brought up the... Ooh, there comes an arrow, and it actually is going to hit on the Clockwork, but I think he's way too tanky for her to do anything about it. Yeah... Oh, she's going to try to engage, but here comes a Juggernaut Omni Slash, but she gets up high ground just fast enough, and the Clockwork's actually going to take her out with Battery Assault, but she actually did manage to dodge all the slashes of the Omni Slashes, or, yeah, of the Omni Slash. Yeah, she only got hit by 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, that's the one downside to Omni Slash, is that if you lose vision or if you get pulled too far away from the group, it's just almost a useless spell. It's a blue balls spell.
Yeah, for sure. However, you know, they did make that change in 6.79 where, oh, that Nether Blast is not going to do anything. But they did make that change where Omni Knight can cast items while in Omni Slash mode. So he could build a Blink Dagger, but that usually
really? So they made it so Omni Knight has Omni Slash now.
Yeah, Omni Knight has Omni Slash now. It's a really interesting mechanic that they've just buffed Omni Knight so greatly. And it looks like this Nether Ward's gonna go down.
Jesus, what a Nether Ward.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, kill this.
Yeah, pretty much. Besides that, the Nether Wards have actually been on point this whole game.
Yeah.
Actually, while you were gone, at one point, I was mentioning that he leveled up max Nether Ward, max Nether Blast before even getting a single point into Decrep, which is great against the Invoker, really.
Girl, yeah. One thing that I feel like is being underutilized is the Pugna push.
Yeah, well, every time they try to push, there's a massive team fight that lasts like 5 minutes, so...
And they're winning them, but they should keep pushing.
Pugna running right next to this Invoker. And it looks like they're going to try to go on him, but the Invoker already has a Force Staff. And he's also got a point booster, so he looks like he's probably going to be picking up that Aghanim Scepter. Very powerful for an Invoker.
Murata going for Yasha and drums. Likes that speed. Going for the speed build on Murata.
Yeah, Race Car Murata's reasonable. Oh my god, in the middle lane, here comes a song. And this engagement is going to be disengaged, I'd hope, from the Invoker. He does actually get the meteor
doesn't hit
off,
anything. He didn't hit a single bit of damage on that Pugna.
Yeah. The Pugna did have to pop his 10-second BKB, and the Nether Blast actually didn't even hit the tower there, so I don't know, I guess that's a minor victory.
minor. Yeah, I guess the Mirana is also pushing top a little bit here, so they gotta get serious in middle lane. But at the end of the day,
Yeah, it looks like the Invoker actually is getting frostbitten. Oh, here comes a lift on this Darkseer. Are they going to have any damage? No, the mechanism is probably going to stop that from happening, but Pugna actually drops a Nether Blast on the creep wave instead of the tower, but I guess it doesn't really matter. The tower goes down anyway. And I think the Rubik has Forge Spirits, or had Forge Spirits. Yeah, he stole Forge Spirits, which is great for a Rubik to get. Really, Rubik was a great pickup, even though he was like second pick or third pick. Because there is a million spells for him to steal. And here comes a smoke. As smoke into re-engage, you think, Cam?
I think smoke to Roche.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They are definitely going to go right for that Roshan. And I wonder if this Radiant team has an inkling of this.
It kind of doesn't seem like it right now, especially since they have no wards up.
Yeah,
I think somebody might just go ward, or they might just snuff it out.
Oh, here comes
Not
Sunstrike,
really
so now they know.
Sus.
They definitely know, but I don't think they're going to be able to get there in time before this Roshan goes down. Darkseer's coming in. He does have back row, but the Aegis is already down. And here comes an arrow, and it's actually going to hit right on the healing ward. It's not going to hit anything, is basically what I'm saying. Clockwork initiates with a hookshot, but he actually gets vacuumed out of his cogs, and it doesn't matter because the freezing field does so much damage. Naga's going to go down too. She actually had Song in 6 seconds, but wasn't able to get it. And Pugna's second BKB charge is used in that fight.
I must know, how the fuck did like 3 heroes end up in those cogs when he only cogged 1 at the start?
I don't really know. I think
I
it
have
might
no
been
idea.
The Rubik stealing the vacuum is the possibility.
He has net. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. That.
It kind of seemed like 2 people did get vacuumed though, so maybe you're right. But that was insanity Dota right there.
Pretty much.
That was.
And with 3 heroes down, we're gonna see this slow siege from the Pug. No, we're not. Just kidding. Pug is gonna
Oh snap! Why did they take this route?
Yeah. Actually, the decrepit Rubik, which should have saved his life, actually, the Decrepify killed him. Oh, and actually a net up on this Clockwork, but again, I don't know if you can take down this tanky Clockwork. Here comes a Sunstrike, and it actually is, yeah, going to take out the Rubik, or the Clockwork, rather. Meanwhile, this bottom lane is being pushed by Juggernaut and Pugna. And Juggernaut does have an Omni Slash, so he wants to stay in. Oh, he could actually go right into this engagement, but he wouldn't be doing that much damage. He actually has opted to go for a Desolator before the Aghanim Scepter. Usually you see, well, I wouldn't say usually, but a lot of times you'll see a Juggernaut go for an Aghanim's first. Ooh, that fissure. The Earthshaker's showing off that he has a Blink Dagger, though.
The Dire team throwing just a bit with their positioning there. Definitely should not have gone around like close to the edge of their base to get to the tier 2.
Yeah, they could have probably had a couple Nether Blasts. They could have probably got a couple Nether Blasts off on that tier 3 tower, which, you know, damage on a tier 3 tower is pretty good.
And the Dire just totally benefit from like slow sieging right now.
Yeah.
They're ahead. Their Juggernaut's doing just fine. He's got a Desolator. They can slow siege with the Pugna.
Oh,
they don't need to make any big commitments.
Pugna gets arrowed as well, and here comes a fissure, and the Darkseer comes in, but he doesn't actually back wall because he doesn't need to. Actually, the Clockwork actually comes in and gets the Naga in a hookshot and cogs. But I think this Naga is actually going to go down before this Clockwork does. Clockwork's so tanky with that Blade Mail. Rubik actually steals Deafening Blast and is able to actually knock off 2 of the heroes with it. But here comes an Omni Slash in to do so much damage, but he actually is going to get stuck in by the cogs. The Clockwork Rocket is not going to be enough with those 3 Quas Orbs. And Invoker does the little Force Staff trick with the TP.
How do more people keep ending up in these cogs than are originally cogged?
Yeah. Well, that time the
Omni Slash did, yeah.
Omni Slash put him in there, unfortunately. Basically,
But still.
bad luck. Yeah.
These cogs, man, they're like magnets for the bitches, the Dota bitches.
They're basically bitches magnets, bitch magnets.
Dota bitch magnets.
Basically,
We don't mean the
Juggernaut's a bitch is what
ladies.
we're getting at.
We wouldn't disrespect you like that. We mean female dogs.
Yeah, Juggernaut is actually, in the lore of the game, he's actually a canine.
That's why he wears a mask. He's ashamed.
Ashamed of his dog heritage. So the Juggernaut is going for a butterfly. Butterfly.
You know what I really wish was a thing, but is totally just nitpicking, is I wish the portraits on the top reflected your hero items that you're wearing, your cosmetics.
That would be pretty cool.
Like, Juggernaut has a totally badass mask on right now, but in the top portrait, he looks like a big puss. Regular Jug.
Oh, I thought you meant like the items that they bought in the game, because I was gonna say that would be pretty difficult, because sometimes you get like 4 different axes or something.
Right. What?
Like the items you buy, like he has a Desolator, so instead of his sword,
Oh,
it
I
becomes
see, yeah.
like a scythe or something.
I see. I was like, yeah,
Caterpillar.
cosmetics. What did you think we were talking about? You buy those.
And the Pugna could just walk up and Nether Blast this tower. Oh no, he's pussying out. And they are actually going to get the deny because of it. So that's 2 denied towers actually for the Radiant team. So, you know, little victories here and there.
Little ones.
Yeah, real little ones. 5,000 gold in favor of the Dire team. But you have to remember the Invoker does have a Midas, which should kick in right around now, actually.
It
So-
looks like the Dire are getting smart and playing the Rat Dota way right now. They are ooh, might be a good hook here from the clock. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you.
Actually, in the bottom lane, it looks like the Pugna is actually going to have to BKB and TP out. And good solid play from the Pugna, actually, to have the foresight to just BKB, TP out. He knows when he could get destroyed.
I think the Radiant are just lacking on wards right now. Hardcore.
Yeah, they have no map control whatsoever. And that's definitely hurting them. It's starving them of farm.
They
And
have
it's
one
difficult.
in stock, too.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
Yeah, they could buy one easily.
Sorry,
Oh, and the
pinged.
Earthshaker has 2.
Yeah, I think they're having trouble getting out of the base. I mean, it's kind of difficult to move around the map when a Clockwork's stalking you, and when you assume that they have map control, which... Actually, does the Dire have any aggressive wards? No, it doesn't look like they do. Oh, well, yeah, there's an aggressive ward right here.
Radiant's middle tower is
pretty
under
good ward.
attack.
I'd like to see a Dire ward up on the hill as well. Oh, looks like a Song is going to come in. They're maybe going to try to initiate. A net actually lands on the Juggernaut, and a Song is on 3, but the Clockwork comes back in, and there goes the Omni Slash doing so much damage. And oh my god, the Echo Slam does so much damage as well. Takes out 2 heroes, but the Aegis brings the Juggernaut back up. He does not have much else to do, and the Pugna's going to go down. She drops her Necro Books, but the Juggernaut is in a bad position. He actually is taking a bunch of damage and right clicks. He's trying to do as much as he can, but he gets face arrowed, and this Crystal Maiden is going to die as well. She's got a 4-step up in 3, 2, and it's not going to be enough. She does go down as well, and that was a 5-man wipe for just a Darkseer.
For a second, I thought that Song totally backfired on them when the clock reinitiated. And then it turned out, no, it didn't.
Yeah, not at all. That front fired for them.
Is that the opposite of front fire or backfire?
I don't know,
Front fire?
actually.
I feel like the opposite of backfire is just success.
Well, I think the opposite of backfiring is like firing.
Front firing?
Well, I don't think it's. Well, I think it is technically front firing, but it's just, you know, firing. Because it's like backfiring is a reference to cars, I think, right? I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was a reference to your engine.
Well, yeah, it's the. Oh, here comes an arrow. It actually is going to land on the Clockwork, but this Marauder really needs to get out of here. Clockwork has not a lot of items, or at least he hasn't gotten the
cars.
yet.
I thought you said cards.
No, I didn't say
Like
that.
playing cards.
No. Nope. Didn't say that at all. It's a car. So the Darkseer actually has a Blink Dagger, which is, I don't know, kind of trolly. A little bit. I mean, 2. Oh my goodness, this Earthshaker. This Earthshaker is farmed, Cam. Like, really farmed for his position, and considering they're behind, he knows how to find his farm. He's got Mana Boots, Blink Dagger, Veil of Discord. So with a Veil and a Blink and an Echo Slam, heroes are going to die, but it looks like a Doom push. Oh, well, I don't know if they're actually going to Doom push down the middle lane.
Yeah, he's farmed, and it's harvest season.
I don't think that's what you even call that.
There's a season, and you harvest in it. It's harvest season.
I don't know if it's called a harvest. I think that might just be called, like, the harvest.
The harvest. It's time to harvest. He's
spring.
farmed. He's been farming all year round, all game round. And now it's time to harvest.
He's got some plums. He's gonna bring them down to the farmer's market. Take them
After he harvests them.
Yeah, well, yeah, he has to harvest the plums. Do plums come from trees, Cam?
Yeah, I actually had a plum tree in my backyard
Wow,
when I was a
you
kid.
were really rich.
What? Wow, does having a plum tree make you rich?
You also had a lake. You owned a lake.
I didn't have a lake. Didn't have a jet ski. Didn't have nothing.
I don't know. You did have the jet ski, and actually, oh my goodness, this invoker. Oh, double TP out, mass TP out from the Dire team. They know when they're in a bad position. And they all get out.
Bad touch. Except for the Pugna.
Yeah. Yeah, Pugna's fine. He's just chilling.
Pugna's just balling out.
Yep. Just basically being a baller.
How does he plan on getting down this cliff?
No, I think he's just waiting for his Necro 3.
At first I thought he was just gonna force staff down, and then I clicked on him and there was no force staff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's probably gonna opt to get rid of this bottle soon, I would imagine. Doesn't really need it anymore. But it's nice having the haste rune in there. What is the uh-oh?
Roche might spawn soon. He will spawn soon.
Yeah, I don't know how to read that.
Yeah, I think it's when that red little bit is finished. Or maybe it's just like now. Right now. He's respawning. Because that little line disappeared on the timer.
Oh, Clockwork actually looks like he hooked. Yeah, he did hook. And without an Aghanims, that's going to be down for another 35 seconds. I mean, that's not like the
shit
longest
balls!
What?
Roche is actually respawning now. I think. Look at the thing. It's like dying like a little fuse.
Oh, it looks like in the middle lane. Yeah, it's just going to be a slow siege. They really don't need to, like, you know, go out of the... Oh, and here comes a big Naga sleep. The arrow isn't going to hit, but the Earthshaker gets right in position, and here comes... Oh, a vacuum into Echo Slam, but it's not enough damage. The Juggernaut ulti is doing so much in right clicks, and it looks like this Darkseer is going to go down. The Crystal Maiden Freezing Field is doing so much as well, and the Sunstrike is going to hit on that Juggernaut who has magic immunity from his Battle Fury, or Blade Fury. And actually, the Mirana is actually going to be able to take down the... No, she's not! The last hit
Somebody's
crit.
cooking.
Oh my god, the
Kill
butterfly.
Yeah. That butterfly just kicked in with that evasion.
That, I think, honestly, might have just won them the game, that butterfly.
Yeah, and that last hit crit, I mean... Oh, it looks like Mirana's going to try to get this kill on the Invoker, or the Juggernaut. Oh, it just barely didn't thread the needle enough. Mirana actually does manage to Manta out of the Frostbite, and she's going to save the team from the racks and kill down the Rubik as well. So, good play by the Mirana to buy back in.
Indeed.
Buybacks are going to be very important now. I actually want to look at the hero level, and the Juggernaut is actually level 22, which is sad to say considering the Invoker does have a Midas. He's actually the same level as the Mirana, which is not something you like to see when he's getting extra XP.
I'm enjoying this Emma Watson sexy pick right now.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Actually gonna go into cinematic view here.
Can you do that?
Oh,
what are you doing with the fountain? You do it with the fountain,
wait,
I guess.
how do I do that?
Yeah, I just
want to cinematic
fountain.
view the... I guess I would have to do it on a creep that's just spawning.
No, do it on the fountain. Did you know in Dota 1 you could kill the fountain? It's not indestructible. It's very
Do
difficult.
it on the fountain.
Yeah, like click on the...
Oh, on the fountain. I see.
on
I
the
thought you
fountain.
meant the ancient.
No.
That's what we call the ancient. Back in my
Yeah,
day.
I think the ancient is known as the ancient and the fountain. I'm pretty sure.
That almost gives me a worse perspective on the sexy Emma Watson pick.
I thought you were going to say almost gives you a boner.
That fully gives me a boner.
Looks like both teams are actually gearing up to try to contest this Roshan fight. And I think the Juggernaut hasn't started it for some reason. He's got a Butterfly and a Deso, and yeah, he's going to get spotted out by the Sunstrike. In fact, he's going to walk into the Sunstrike. If he started that a long time ago, he's got a Deso. He can, and a Butterfly. He could probably take the Roche by himself pretty easily. I mean, it would be dead by now. But now he's in a bad position, but here comes the Omni Slash. He's He's actually trying to right-click down this Darkseer, and he uses the Omni Slash just on the Darkseer to take him out. Naga's actually going to Song, and she really should Song and TP out. Oh, she does, but she gets canceled by the Clockwork, who's already has his Battery Assault. The Echo Slam does so much damage to the Enchant Totem, taking out the Crystal Maiden. But the crits are too rough. And here comes an arrow. Oh, the arrow from the Rubik is not going to be enough, but this Rubik is being a man. He's got a Blink Dagger too. This is Blink Dagger Dota. And here comes another arrow. They're just arrows coming everywhere, Cam.
BDD.
Oh, here comes
Blink Dagger Dota.
Hooks ready, and he's gonna get it on this Mirana, I'm sure.
Hooks. Zilla.
Now he goes.
With honor.
There goes Mirana, and there goes Roshan as well. Oh, the Sunstrike just barely misses that Rubik. And
That was close.
yep. With an Aegis on this Juggernaut, who also has a Basher as well, he's going to be very difficult to kill.
I wonder if there's a way, or I wonder if in the future they'll add a feature for selecting the rockets that are flying through the air that Clockwork casts, so that I can cinematic mode that and then slow-mo it up and do nothing with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a feature that they would not spend any time on. Because it has no value on the game whatsoever.
Well, it's like an object, so they could easily just make it selectable. Could they not?
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually like a projectile in the engine.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, probably. It might just be a number.
Surely it is.
I'm not Shirley, I'm Rob. Oh, it looks like the Rubik actually is gonna lift a Naga illusion.
That joke never gets old, honestly.
It really doesn't. I can't wait to be a dad so I can tell all the dad jokes. They're gonna be fantastic.
I'm not Shirley, I'm Rob.
Don't call me Shirley.
Shadows. Take us.
My name's
My name's
Rob.
not Shirley.
Oh, and Invoker opening up with the... Oh my goodness, he's doing so much damage. He doesn't actually pop the Deafening Blast for whatever reason. I guess he doesn't want to use it before the Aegis, and these Pugna actually life draining. Here comes the back wall, but is it enough? There's so much madness going on. Echo Slam's going to go down, but it's not going to do anything because the Omni Knight actually was in his Omni Slash... I'm sorry, not Omni Knight. Juggernaut is in his Omni Slash mode. And, yeah, I think this is the end of the game here.
Over and over.
It's hard to say. It's difficult. You know, honestly, I think this might come down to being outdrafted.
Yeah, a
Because
little bit.
They did not see that Pugna coming last pick.
I think sometimes teams just get this like disable sickness where they have to draft like a bajillion disables but then don't get any follow-up damage.
Right, yeah, exactly. Oh, and the Abyssal Blade on the Mirana, is he gonna have enough? Oh yeah, he is.
How about that?
There he goes. And, oh my god, this Juggernaut is level 25 already. Let's take a look at the kills. Actually, 12 on the Juggernaut, 13 on the Pugna. Pugna just, I think, a really strong hero in this version of the game.
I think if they had snagged the Clockwork and the Mirana, they would have won.
Song is going to come in and the Earthshaker is going to come in, but he doesn't actually have his Echo Slam, so I guess he's going to try to fissure it. Enchant Totem. Here comes a bunch of damage. Clockwork actually is going to cog in too. Sunstrike's actually not going to hit because the Rubik was still stunned. And the Naga is going to go down to the Clockwork Battery Assault, and that should probably be the last hurrah. No, Invoker's going to have his last hurrah. He actually pops Deafening Blast and Meteor. That combo does the most damage out of any Invoker, but Invoker's going to get lifted and taken out as well. Handily defeated.
I'm telling ya, Mirana Clockwork, unstoppable. That must have been their plan. They drafted the Mirana, they were like, okay, next we get the Clockwork, other team gets the Clockwork. It's like, well, what do we do now?
Hindsight is 20/20, right? But I think, you know, generally it's pretty common to get Midas on Invoker all the time, mostly just because he's such a good hero with levels. So, you know, you want to get the levels. Oh my god, Omni Slash into the fountain, but it's not going to do enough. Or is it? Nope, totally is. Never mind, just kidding. Clockwork's going to hook into the Manta for some reason. And I think, wow, bad manners.
Keep pausing it.
Manners.
Keep pausing it.
There goes the cheat. But anyway, yeah, I think Midas is a pretty common build on Invoker because of the levels that you need. However, in this particular scenario, I don't think rushing the Midas was good. Again,
Russian the
hindsight's 20/20.
Midas.
Yeah, you don't want Russians getting Midas. You gotta keep them away from that because they really like getting Midas very often.
Midas,
the Invoker did pretty well. I mean, the Invoker, the Invoker went 11-7, and in fact, I would imagine that the good reason for a lot of those kills, for him doing so well, was the Midas and him being able to actually keep up in levels even though he was behind. However, I think it was more vital to win the middle lane in this game than stay up in levels, you know?
True that. I honestly think that the Radiant's downfall was a lack of follow-up damage, because all of their heroes were like, you know, Earthshaker, Mirana, and some other shitty heroes that that just didn't have right clicks, and you needed those right clicks to go with the disables. Crystal Maiden, there we go. Crystal Maiden has no right click. None of those heroes really have right click. Invoker's fine. He can spam his spells, but that was all the follow-up damage that they really had, and so
I think they were relying heavily on that Echo Slam kicking in, and it did some good fights, but after a while the Dire team was just too fed. I mean, Juggernaut just gives you a lot in right clicks that the other team didn't have, so.
I mean, if they had like an Alchemist as one of their carries, and then they, you know, just tried to carry it into the late game and use their disables to set up that Alchemist to go in and like whack somebody to death, then I can see it working in their favor. But too many disables, not enough right click.
They just didn't even draft. They didn't really draft a carry. I mean, I know that a lot of teams like to run that. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of teams like to run it, or it just kind of happens sometimes where a Mirana is the carry. I don't think she's a great carry. She is if you're rolling. Like if the early game and the mid game goes fantastically, then Mirana can carry just fine. But
if you're rolling, like you're on ecstasy?
If you've taken a lot of ecstasy and your eyes are really dilated and you're just, you know, you're hugging the floor and feeling up the fuzzy
hugging
carpet.
The floor. Is that what happens when you do ecstasy?
That's what happens when you have the ecstasy. Well, I was imagining the floor was a shag carpet, Cam, in which case you probably would be hugging the floor.
I was more imagining it as a marshmallow.
What?
I don't know. It just seems nicer to hug than a shag carpet.
I don't know. Would it be? Would a marshmallow floor? I mean, the marshmallow would get really dirty, and what happens when it's like the summertime?
I assume that if you're allowed to have a marshmallow floor, you pretty much live in a perfect universe where marshmallows don't get dirty and gross.
Yeah. I guess that's a lot of assumptions, whereas I just wanted a shag carpet. You've created an entire hypothetical universe in which marshmallows don't degenerate. So, that's...
Well, don't get dirty. They're like dirt resistant.
Well,
couldn't be good to eat after, you know, all that chemical dirt resistance is
applied. Would you really want to eat your floor anyway?
Not really, I guess. Would a mushroom bed be good then? Or marshmallow bed?
So you have a marshmallow floor and a mushroom bed now? Like, what kind of weird
Mushroom
Willy
bed
Wonka
actually wouldn't be
world
that
are we
bad.
living in? I mean, if you had food for walls and floors, what happens in an apartment building? Like, if I ate through my floor right now, I would go down to the floor below me. I'm on the 3rd floor.
I imagine it's just constantly generating more mushroom and marshmallow.
Oh, that's disgusting.
What?
That's awful.
What?
So you have an entire marshmallow home that's also constantly growing fungus and mushrooms everywhere, and you have to constantly eat marshmallows and mushrooms.
Only when you eat some of it, it regenerates, all right? It doesn't, like, grow to be more than it ever was. That's how the perfect world... Just imagine a perfect world, Rob. A perfect one, not any downsides whatsoever.
Well... To use an NLism, in any case, this has been Dota 2. I don't really know what happened at the end there. Shit just got real. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for joining me, Cam. It was a fun time.
Yes. No. Maybe. So.
Okay, great. Anyway, yeah, that's a good time. Good times. Good times. Let them roll. And Cam, be quiet for the next 15 seconds or so. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. This has been Dota 2, and sorry about the Skype technical issues and stuff that we had throughout the game, but I think it still worked out pretty well, despite that. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. This has been Dota 2. This is Alpacapatrol signing out. Peace, fools.